Hi, today I'm making Aunt Cathy's broccoli salad. Now we had a family gathering not too long ago and I had some and I personally don't like raw vegetables very much. Love them cooked, but raw broccoli, raw cauliflower, just really not my thing. Raw onions, I don't really like that. So I was very surprised when I had some of the salad because it was prepared for us, and I was just going to try some of everything, and it was so good. I was so surprised. So I had to find out about the recipe, and she told me it was in our family's cookbook. So I opened it up and I looked in here, and I don't know if your family is like mine, but when they do a recipe, they give you about measures. Some of the recipes in here are like, mix all of it together, put it in the oven, and cook it till it's brown. I'm like, what degrees? How long? A little more information, please. But that's just the way it was. I know with my grandmother, she wouldn't share her recipes with anybody until I was married with children. And I actually was in her kitchen. I said, look, I need to know these recipes so I can pass them down. And so I followed her around with a pen and a paper and just everything she did I wrote down, and she would start to just pour. I said, no, let's measure it so that I could get a measurement of something before she poured it in the mix. So anyway, this recipe is kind of like that. She has it listed out. It doesn't include cauliflower, but I talked to her. She said she puts some cauliflower in there, so we're going to include cauliflower. And on the bottom of the recipe it says, I use more sugar and mayonnaise than what the recipe says. So it was just a roundabout. I had to call her. I said, okay, how much more do you use? And so we came up with a figure, and I hope that this works. So the first thing you do for this dressing, for this salad, is fix the dressing. And she said to use Hellman's mayonnaise, and we're going to use a half a cup. Here we go. Okay, and to this mayonnaise, I added 5 tablespoons of sugar, just regular sugar, and stirred it up really, really well. We're going to let this sit in the refrigerator, and it will be added to the salad the very last minute. We'll let this sit in the refrigerator normally overnight, but I'm just going to do it this morning and let it sit in there all day and fix it tonight. So that's that. I like this press and seal because you can press around the top and it'll stay there. In the refrigerator. Now, this next part she also would do the night before. You would normally do this the night before and let it sit in a Ziploc bag or in a bowl covered in the refrigerator overnight. I started with a half a head of cauliflower and just cut it in half, and then made little bitty pieces, little tiny broken up pieces of cauliflower. And then the same thing with 2 heads of broccoli, little tiny broccoli florets. And you don't want really big pieces, just little tiny pieces, but it makes a good bit. So 2 heads of broccoli and a half a head of cauliflower. And this is what we have. All right, to this, we're gonna add a cup of water chestnuts that are already chopped. So I'm just gonna, not a half a cup, a half a can. So I'm gonna use just a spoon and eye it and get half a can out. That, and I have 2/3 cup of raisins that I've already measured. So we're going to add the raisins, and last but not least, the vegetable part anyway, we have to do, it says a half of a red onion, but this is a really big red onion, so I'm going to do more of like a third maybe. So, I've been telling you I'm going to let you in on my secret of not crying when I do onions. And you're going to laugh? Well, here we go. I have some goggles. And one day I just saw them sitting around. I don't know if they were in the my grandkids' play box. But I saw them and I thought, I'm going to try it. And so my family got a really big kick out of it. But I discovered a piece of nugget of goodness. Is I don't cry. My eyes are extremely sensitive to onions. And I cry every single time I have to cut them up. So this is the secret. Just like this. Here we go. No crying for me today. Alright, I think I'm just gonna do a fourth because this is a really big onion. Slice into it this way. And let's chop it and see. I want this really small diced because I'm not a huge fan of raw onions, or I'm not really a huge fan of anything raw. So I'm going to cut it small. Okay, ta-da! No tears. So, I can tell you just having them on top makes me tear up a little bit. I gotta cover them up. So I'm gonna mix this together because we want all the flavors to kind of meld together. So we're just gonna mix, and then cover it and let it sit all day long. And if you do it like you're supposed to, all night long. See how it just makes a rim? I like it. Press and seal. So off to the refrigerator, and when we get back, I will cook some bacon and we'll crumble it and we'll put it in here and mix our salad dressing in, and it'll be ready to go. I'm back. We have everything out of the refrigerator and set to assemble our salad. This was our broccoli and cauliflower and all of our vegetables right here. And I fried up a pack of bacon, and we're going to crumble it and add it to our salad. You know, everything's better with bacon. Especially when you talk about Southern cooking. That's all I can speak for, but it's all better with bacon. Now, if you don't have time to fry up bacon and break it like this, you can buy bacon that's already cooked and broken into pieces, and you need about 12 ounces if you buy it if you get it that way. About a 12-ounce package at least. This package is 16 ounces of bacon before it's cooked, so I don't know what it weighs after it's cooked. So we have all the bacon added. Let's just mix this up a little bit. Actually looks very nice, just like this. It's colorful. All right, now we're going to add our dressing. It's been sitting in the refrigerator all day. I'm going to give it a mix. It's very thick at this point, very thick. So, good luck. It's as yummy as I remember it being. All right, time to mix it. And then we'll get to have a taste. I can't wait. It's important to make sure that all the ingredients are touched with the dressing. So you want to mix it for a good little while. As I was mixing this, I realized that there just wasn't enough dressing. So I went back and made another batch that I made before. A half a cup of mayonnaise and 5 tablespoons of sugar. So I've had this in the refrigerator now for about an hour. Doesn't get to sit all day like the first one did, but this one I'm gonna put about half in there and mix it up. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it all. So my recipes in the book is just a little bit under what we need it to be. Because you need enough dressing to coat all the vegetables. I mean, it's not going to be dripping off the vegetables, but you need to be able to see it on the vegetables. So that's why I didn't think that was enough. And I even texted Aunt Cathy a picture. Is this enough dressing? She said, nope, you need to be able to see it. So we're fixing that. Now, if you were fixing this for, 1 or 2 people and you don't use quite as much cauliflower, only maybe 1 head of broccoli instead of 2, then that might have been enough dressing. But this is a lot of vegetables, so we need all that dressing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of it. So in total, it was 1 cup of mayonnaise and 10 tablespoons of sugar. So that's in total what you would need for this recipe if you're doing, the 2 heads of broccoli and the half of a cauliflower. Let me wash my hands. All of that. All right, here we go. So now you can see the dressing. You see that it's coated on here just a little, and that's what you want. It looks beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll bring it close. See how pretty that is? I put it in a Christmas bowl since we're doing this for Christmas. Okay, here it is up close and personal. You can see that there's a, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a gleam on the vegetables. You can actually see that it has dressing on it. And so you want it, you know, that's how you want it. So let's have a bite. Looks delicious. I want to try to get some of everything on my fork at the same time. A little bit of bacon and onion and broccoli and cauliflower and raisins all together. Just like I remembered it. It was so good. It's and for somebody who does not like raw vegetables. I mean, I've never liked a vegetable plate, you know, where you dip vegetables in a dip. I always opted for chips or a fruit plate. Fruit plate I like. Raw vegetables, not my thing. But this I actually like. I really do like this. So, if you're not a huge fan of raw vegetables, you may want to give it a try. Because it's a way to eat them and enjoy them. If you like this video, please subscribe below. It'll help me out a lot.